Welcome again and welcome back. And welcome, Ms. Ericka Kelly. Thank you for joining us again this week. We appreciate the time and what great words of leadership wisdom and just life wisdom you brought last week. But it's such an honor, my friend.
Kevin, it's always an honor. I appreciate you. And last week was pretty interesting because I'm still thinking about some of the questions and some of the comments that you and I shared.
Well, so am I. There's been a number of notes taken, and let me state that you've added value to this person right here, and I appreciate it. And I'm not surprised by that. Each time we converse, each time that I read a message or post that you have on LinkedIn or elsewhere or on your website, there's knowledge there for me to take. I appreciate your heart to serve in that piece. And Ms. Kelly, as we look at that piece, right, that heart to serve, so many people have that heart to serve. Educators, military, law enforcement, in your background, people who coach, whether it's with Maxwell, the John Maxwell team, or train or mentor, or in another mode, pastors, church leaders in that regard. There's a lot of challenges that continue to pop up in new ways that if we're not careful, we can get in our way to being effective with the service piece. Talk a little bit about your experiences there. How do you get past or how do you overcome obstacles that may pop up that hadn't been anticipated?
Sure. Interesting for me. It's not an advice that I give people quite often is be ready, be prepared. When the door opens, but sometimes there is a gatekeeper at that door, and they say, do you have the ticket? And the ticket might be a certification, might be experience here and there, might be something. And if you say, yes, I do, because you have been preparing for that door to open, then you go through. Sometimes we get really frustrated. That gatekeeper says, they're not saying no to you. They're not. They're saying, do you have the ticket? And that's where I should have finished school. I should have done this. And the I should have, right? Self-criticism comes in. And it's just realizing that you don't have the ticket right now, but now you know what you need. And then you prepare, and then you go through the door. For me, anyway, what helped me always as a mom, as law enforcement, as an airman in the military, was to get to a point, cross a line, and go, awesome, work really hard, gain credibility, prepare for next. When next became now, I was ready. And that helped me. Now, did I not face challenges? Of course I did. But what I did was try to prepare myself for all the possibilities so I could have a really strong foundation. So when those challenges came, I was not standing in mud. I was not standing in sand. I had a really strong foundation to deal with the challenges or obstacles that came my way. And why do I say challenges and obstacles? Because we will find success, everyone. Success is like right here, like right all over us. We will find success. But we also need to be okay as we find success with the bumps that the road will bring.
Thank you, Ms. Kelly. Last week during the episode, as you were introducing yourself and your transition, the word journey came up quite a bit. And it has me reflecting on how we as humans at times miss the journey, the value of the journey, because we're looking for that end destination or final score piece. When you're working with your clients and you sense that maybe they're wanting to jump way too many spaces ahead towards that final destination, how have you found you've been able to keep them more focused on, let's take this step of the journey and see where we grow, and then we'll plan the next one?
Yes, coaching comes to mind. If people are not used to being coached, never been coached, sometimes there is an assumption that a coach is going to tell you what you need to do, because we look at business or executive coaching as maybe as what a sports coach would do, which is to tell you what you need to do. So this is what happens with a client. My goal is for them to be empowered to make their own decisions. And when they make their own decisions, empowered, right? Because maybe their whole life they have just gone with the flow. And this time I am switching, helping them change, gain awareness for them to make their own decisions. And when they make their own decisions, then they own the consequences of that decision. And I say that, Kevin, because sometimes, again, a person that has not received coaching before just wants the answer. This is what I'm going through. What is it that I should do? And so it should be, and it is so easy for me to say, oh, this is what you need to do. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. But then I just disempower them to own that decision. If the 1, 2, 3 or ABC that I just told them to do works fine, they'll say in here, subconsciously, they'll say, it only worked because I follow what Ericka said. Never taking ownership that they're the ones that made the decision. If it goes wrong, perfect shield, perfect protection for them to go, I knew it wouldn't work, but I only did it because Ericka said so. That's that question that you just asked me, Kevin, so powerful. We need to learn how to make our own decisions and be empowered to live the consequences, good, bad, or ugly, but the consequences of that decision, because they're ours.
Great advice. And as you're speaking and answering that question, Ms. Kelly, it also comes to mind what you just described really could well be responded to if someone asks, what's at the heart of effective feedback? Because in my career, I find that many times we as humans, it's not natural to give feedback that really could be taken or grabbed a hold of and utilized, nor is it natural for us at times to receive feedback in the same manner where we can effectively utilize it. But it's about the accountability and ownership.
Absolutely. But it also, Kevin, even as you said the word feedback, is the definition that we have of that word. If I say, Kevin, give me some feedback after I do a presentation or I do a keynote, give me some feedback. You know what I'm really asking? For all the things that I did wrong. Depending on how we translate the word feedback. But most of the time we translate it as, okay, or when we say, well, me to you, Kevin, let me give you some feedback about your show. Mentally, you get prepared to hear maybe some criticism. Okay, give it to me. I'm ready. So it's the defining of the word. Because I have given feedback to someone that has asked, well, you did great. This was awesome, on. And I stop. Oh, in the military. Thanks, Chief. But what else? Oh, that's all my feedback. Oh, I was expecting feedback on what else I can improve. What can I do? Because they're looking for that list, 1, 2, 3 of what they didn't do 100%. What is missing? And so again, Kevin, it goes into, yes, how do we get feedback? Do we give feedback because we define feedback as me finding something that doesn't fit and then I highlight it to you? Or do we define feedback as making you grow, highlighting your giftedness, so you can keep concentrating on your giftedness, and not, if I'm very bad, poor at doing math, but I'm really good in English. John Maxwell would tell you, concentrate on your giftedness. Keep getting better at this, because if you concentrate all your energy on, let's say, math, then you will get mid-level, average at best. But if you concentrate on your giftedness, you're gonna be pretty great, pretty awesome.
Well said, and great words of wisdom. Another word that you've used in the 2 weeks that we've been together is the term proximity. And that takes me to John's book, No Limits. And I think it's in No Limits, he talks about these 17 capacities, right? That we have opportunities to grow and basically work towards our potential with, one being energy capacity. And then there's a listing of proximity items. You've mentioned people. A lot of times I found in my career that I've overlooked the people aspect, those nearest, where there's opportunities to learn from those individuals, grow through them, and maybe look elsewhere to areas that weren't as effective. Why do you think we get so stuck maybe on the task or the technical pieces and we miss out things right in front of us, like people or maybe books such as No Limits or others that we could refer to? You talked about Napoleon Hill in our discussions and listening there, but we have so much available to us in today's day and age to help us grow. Why is it we as humans, we maybe don't get there enough?
Because we like to be comfortable. We like to go to what's familiar. We like to work within the limitations of our personality style, as an example. And we like to be with people that are like us. We create this bubble of, maybe we can give it the name of comfort zone. We go to what's familiar. We go to where we feel safe. It might not be safe, but we feel safe. We go to a place where it's automatic. We don't have to think. We don't have to work. It's there. And it's this false sense of goodness. Because the minute that bubble of comfort is created, we're not growing anymore. The place where we are going to, people, let's say, the place where we're going to grow is when we start pushing those walls of the comfort, our comfort zone, whatever that looks like. And the minute we get to that edge, whatever edge we're going through, we're like, I can do it. I can do it. And again, and maybe this term, the terror barrier, is where we really get to that edge of the comfort zone. And we see what we want to do. We see the people that we want to be near. We know that's going to be good for us. But that gap of a terror barrier is, it creates anxiety. It creates worry. It creates hesitation. It creates that paralyzing fear that I was telling you last time. And it pushes us, it either pushes us or pulls us back to the center of that comfort zone. And we can say, I tried, but I don't understand. And so it's us getting through that terror barrier and meeting people that think differently than us, doing things that we have never done before, taking a chance on people, and moving. I'm not saying that your comfort zone was not good. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that when you get out of that comfort zone, you then are exposed to a bigger world. you gain awareness, and then you have more options, and not just one file, one belief, or one value that you hold on to, and you will protect it with your life, where you might not have all the information that you need.
Said again, what words of wisdom. I love your passion and your consistency and constancy of purpose. It's what stands out. Even going back 4 years ago when you were our table lead at the John Maxwell virtual conference, in that piece was it's a bit awkward to say table lead when we were on Zoom like this with 7 or 8 of us at the table. You did a great job with it. It was all, we all felt like we were right there in Orlando at the moment in the conference center in that regard. Ms. Kelly, just shifting a little bit, talk about some of the people maybe that have helped you along the way to where you are today.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna break that down into different phases of my life. When I was in that chaotic, very toxic environment growing up, I remember being in an art class. So this is a teacher. Don't remember her name. I don't even remember her face. I just remember her essence. And I remember coloring something, and I used very strong, earthy colors, like dark browns and reds and black, and like very strong colors. And everybody else is not using those colors. And she comes to my painting and she goes, oh, that is so amazing. You are using the colors of your people's legacy. And at that time, I was completely lost. I was zero, right? And I go, legacy? My people? I'm part Mayan, right? Central America. And that statement, her saying that it was beautiful, whatever I was doing, and that I was channeling somehow, somewhere, the legacy of my people, empowered me to start believing in myself. As crazy as that sounds, she is one of those people in my life that I will never forget. Her essence, at least, I will never forget. Now, if I move then to the people in the military, there is no way, Kevin, that I can be here with you and your audience and brag about the military, 32 years, becoming the top enlisted for the Air Force Reserve, the top 10 of all the Air Force enlisted, the top 3 of the 3 components of the Air Force. I couldn't say that in this room if it wasn't for individuals that took risk in giving me a chance. Because why? I am not their familiar. I am not their comfort zone. If I was their familiar, or if I was their comfort zone, they would have picked, forgive me, a male. Someone that was maybe taller than 5 to showcase leadership. So those individuals in my military career that had to, some of them, believe it or not, had to justify why they selected me, because I was not the cookie-cutter model. So I am grateful for those individuals in my life that took a chance in giving me an opportunity and took risk in their own credibility to put me in a position of leadership where I could either land on my face, be successful, be average, whatever you want to call it. But nonetheless, I was, at least in that environment, in very exclusive rooms where it wasn't Ericka Kelly being in the room. It was Ericka representing thousands of people in the room. So the military, great leaders that took a chance on me. In law enforcement, same. I am 5'2", 110. And when you look at law enforcement and you see me, or you saw me years ago, you would never think Who's a powerful, strong special agent? But guess what? I was able, with the help, Kevin, with the help of key people, I was able to find my place and be successful in law enforcement. Why? Because not a lot of people wanted me in the early 90s to be called a special agent. I didn't fit the mold of what was familiar to them. In their mind, they couldn't see someone that looked like me be one of them. So it took the courage of specific people within those groups that didn't want me, within leadership, my own drive, of course, my own persistence, of course, but we're talking about the people that helped me. Those people had a lot of courage. Now, when I got to opening my business and Maxwell and the other certifications that I have, this is what I'm finding out, Kevin. The credibility that I have gained in law enforcement and the credibility that I have gained in the military put me in places as a business owner that I would have never been if I didn't have those two anchors. Borrowing, you and I, right? Us borrowing the name of John Maxwell to say that you and I are certified speakers, coaches, and trainers under this umbrella is a stepping stone into us again proving who we are as leaders, proving who we are as entrepreneurs. And for us to then, once we're in the door, right? Maybe John Maxwell is that ticket that I was talking about earlier. But once we're in the door, we have to execute. We have to present something.
Wow. You take all of that into account, and Ericka Kelly is where she is today. What's next?
I am a life learner. So what's next, a daily next for me is to learn something new every day, to serve my coaching clients, be a better coach every single time that I have a coaching client in front of me when I facilitate a class, to not, okay, that was a great class. I want people to leave those seminars, those classes changed. I want them to be different people after that seminar. And if I do a keynote, I want individuals to know, again, that sometimes we superficially see someone, and we sometimes see people with a title, Command Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force Reserve, yay, business owner, yay, special agent, yay, but we miss the journey. What did it take to get there? Good, bad, and ugly, what did it take? So when I do a keynote, what I want to do is showcase that journey that you and I have talked for the last 2 weeks, in which it's not, oh, how lucky is she? Who did she know that made her get there? It's a combination of everything. It's a combination of never giving up. It's a combination of being persistent, having the desire to succeed, and surrounding yourself with individuals that can give you an opportunity.
And if you had one last word of advice for individuals who may be looking to deepen their leadership toolbox, their skills, or just starting out on a path, a journey to expand their leadership responsibilities, what would you guide them with or leave them with?
Something that I learned throughout my time is that we all don't have all the answers. So if you're watching me right now, just look up, right? Look up. Find a mentor. Find a coach. Find a group of people that maybe are at a different level than you are when it comes to awareness. Be uncomfortable. Be the student. And be humble enough. Be humble enough to not stay in your comfort zone. Create challenge. Take risk. Move forward. And my final thought, help others move forward.
Wow. Powerful words. Thank you, Ms. Kelly. Before we wrap, talk about Ericka Kelly Enterprises. How can clients reach you, individuals who may want to expand further after hearing and seeing you these past 2 weeks?
Absolutely. I would love if people can connect with me through LinkedIn. I have a personal and business page, so either page, but let's just connect. And number two is I would invite your audience members to go to my website, Ericka Kelly Enterprises.com. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom, sign up for my daily leadership email. I send a message every day on leadership skills, what it takes to communicate, what it takes for you to not even communicate, connect with people so you can find success and at the same time help others.
I encourage you, and hopefully you don't need much encouragement after the 2 weeks we've had with Ericka Kelly. Ms. Kelly, I can't thank you enough. Mere words of thank you seem so fleeting at this point, but God bless you. Tremendous. You are just awesome. Again, best of the best, and love what you model, love the passion, the consistency and constancy of focus and purpose to serve. And you are an inspiration, my friend, and what motivation we all gain from you. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you so much, Kevin. It is, again, an honor. And I, too, want to also celebrate your success because you're doing amazing.
Thank you, my friend. From you, very appreciated. Thank you. And
Yes.
Ericka Kelly and I would like to thank you for the time you spent with us these past 2 weeks. Again, top level leader in Ms. Kelly. And I'm so fortunate, honored, and blessed that she's taken the time to spend with me for you. God bless you for all you do. We appreciate you. Have a wonderful day.